Hey guys, it's Deborah from Deb's Journey, and today I wanted to share some breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas with you. I know a lot of you are kind of trying to find different recipes to make or just simple ideas to make for your meals, and today I wanted to help you out with that. But before I do, I wanted to acknowledge the fact that I've been doing keto for 1 year this week. Most of you or some of you may have seen the video that I posted on Wednesday night. Was it Wednesday night or Thursday night? Wednesday night. Okay, it was Wednesday night that I posted this video, and I know it was kind of emotional, and it was just kind of overwhelming for me. This has been such a big thing in my life, and it's one of my hurdles that I need to jump in order for me to do some other things in my life. And it's been quite a journey, and I'm excited about it, and I felt like I needed to post that video, just encouraging somebody out there to just begin somewhere, regardless. Like I said, it may not be your weight loss journey that you're on. It may be whatever other journey that you feel like you need to take to take that next step into your life or career or whatever it may be. In order for us to do that, we have to take that first step. And so again, I want to encourage you, and I know that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so let's get on with the video, and let's talk about some food. Alright guys, let's talk breakfast. I do something called intermittent fasting. You don't have to do this, but I choose to have my first meal at 1 o'clock every day. And so I eat between 1 and 8 o'clock at night. I give myself an 8-hour window, and I choose to eat later on in the day because sometimes I have late work days or just a very busy schedule during the day, and so I like to give myself at least till 8 o'clock to eat dinner. And even though I do skip breakfast most times, like I tell you, I'm intermittent fasting, I still like to eat breakfast foods. And so but if you don't intermittent fast, then feel free to eat breakfast foods at the regular time of the day. My first recipe will be the breakfast sandwiches that I showed you how to make in my last video, and I hope that you'll try that recipe. Again, you don't have to just make it into a sandwich. You can just eat the pancakes on their own. You can also just eat pancakes with eggs and bacon or sausage. You can also make a breakfast sandwich but with some keto biscuits, and if that's a recipe you'd like for me to show, I'm going to tell you different recipes or list different things in this video, and anything that you would like for me to show you how to make, please comment down below and let me know what recipe you need. Alright, let me know this. This is a keto biscuit sandwich that I've made in the past, and it is a cheddar biscuit. It's almost like let's say like a Red Lobster cheddar biscuit. It's not exactly there, but it is delicious as a breakfast sandwich. Again, eggs are always an easy way for you to get some breakfast in. Of course, you can always mix in eggs with cheese, eggs with bacon, eggs with sausage, however you want. You can eat eggs any way, and you can cook it in some coconut oil or a little bit of butter. And yeah, so that's always an easy breakfast. Another good breakfast choice would be Too Good yogurt, and this is yogurt that is low carb and only has 2 grams of sugar. It actually has 3 carbs per container, and it comes in different flavors like strawberry or mixed berry. I'm not too sure what the other flavors are, but I usually buy mine at Walmart or at Kroger. And I like to mix in some homemade granola. Of course, the granola has to be keto friendly. I'll put down below the link of the recipe that I usually use. If you don't want granola, then you can cut up some strawberries, add a little bit of sweetener, because the yogurt itself, it tastes like Greek yogurt. If you like Greek yogurt, or if you've ever tasted Greek yogurt, it tastes just like Greek yogurt, but and slightly like the fruit that it's flavored as. But if you add a little bit of sweetener to it, I usually add like 2 little packets of stevia, and then I'll add fruit in it or the granola, and it's really good. You can also eat that as a snack if you prefer. Another amazing breakfast that I like to eat, and I know my husband loves this next item, are breakfast tacos. These tortillas that I buy are 5 carbs, and I have only seen them at Sam's, and you get about 20 tortillas, and they're really big. Since they are 5 carbs each, I will only eat 1 taco, and I don't eat these all the time. I realize that as I've gone through this, I know certain things that kind of stall me from my weight loss, and eating processed things like tortillas or even like Atkins candy with those kind of sugars in them usually stalls my weight loss, and so I try to minimize the times that I eat these things. But whenever I do eat these tortillas, I often make a taco with chorizo, with eggs, cheese, salsa. The salsa that I love is the La Costeña brand. It's a green salsa, and this is what it looks like. And I believe it's 2 carbs per 2 tablespoons, and I'll always just use about 2 tablespoons. This is a fan favorite in my home. Since I can only eat 1, I will stuff this tortilla to hold me over all day until dinner. Most of the time I don't snack. I'll just eat 2 meals a day, but I will make sure that I'm satisfied at each meal, even at the end of the day. Like I tell you that my window is from 1 to 8. I usually don't eat at 8, but I give myself that leadway in case that I need to eat later. But sometimes I'll eat at 6:30, and I don't get hungry again until the next day. So again, breakfast items. You can eat all kinds of eggs. If you are in the beginning of your keto journey, then I would recommend you keep everything simple. Just eat eggs and a protein like sausage or bacon, eggs and cheese, eggs and salsa. You can also make a cheese tortilla where you put cheese on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper, and you set your oven at 350, and you put little piles that you kind of flatten down a little bit. I usually get about 3 tortillas or 3 cheese tortillas per cookie sheet, and I stick it in the oven for about 10 minutes. You'll see it kind of brown around the edges, and as it cools down, it's gonna get harder. So whenever it starts after about 2 minutes or so out of the oven, then that's whenever I will fill it up with whatever it is that I want to eat. And so with that, I'll put like a fried egg and some bacon. I won't add more cheese because the shell is already cheese. You can put a little sour cream or again salsa, because I love salsa. Everything is better with salsa. But with salsa, be careful because they can also have a lot of hidden sugars. So remember, turn that bottle around and look at the label. Okay, you don't want to pick something that has high sugar or hidden carbs in there. Okay, so that's why I show you which salsa I eat. Again, salsa is usually a pretty safe item to choose. Just turn it around just to make sure. All right, lunch and dinner. I've kind of combined these two because I don't really have lunch foods and then dinner foods. I think I used to, but not anymore. I just eat whatever I want for lunch and dinner. I usually now just eat lunch, and I'll eat breakfast foods for lunch sometimes because I do want to feel like I'm eating breakfast, if that makes any sense. My first lunch or dinner option would be meatloaf and cauli mash and broccoli. Doesn't that look delicious? This is definitely a fan favorite in my home. I would make the meatloaf just as usual, but I usually get because I make a small meatloaf here, we only have 3 people living with us. I'll get about 1.5 pounds of turkey with 1 egg and put whatever seasonings I want, some Parmesan cheese. I get this ketchup here. It's a no sugar added ketchup. I add about 1/2 cup to my meat, mix it up, put it in a loaf pan, squirt some more ketchup on top, and just stick it in the oven for about 40 minutes. And yeah, it's really good. It's really delicious. And then my cauli mash, it's also a really simple recipe. I usually cook my cauliflower. I will boil it, or just steam it rather. Just steam it, don't boil it. I just steam it, and then I get it from there and I put it into my food processor and I whip it up. I do let it run for about 10 minutes, okay? I want it nice and smooth, but it is also hot in there, okay? So just be careful whenever you open the lid. So I let it run for about 10 minutes, and then I'll get half a cup. Oh, so how much cauliflower? I do about 3 cups of cauliflower, okay? Whenever I want to have leftovers for lunch the next day, I'll do about 4 cups of cauliflower. And so I will steam that, put it in my food processor, whip it for about 5 to 10 minutes, add about half a bar of cream cheese, about half a cup of half and half, salt, pepper, garlic, and I'll do about half a cup of like shredded cheddar cheese, and then I whip it for another 3 minutes or so until all the ingredients are incorporated. And let me tell you, this is such a delicious side to whatever meal you're gonna have. I also add a little pat of butter to that too, maybe about 2 tablespoons. I add it with all the other ingredients, okay? I don't just add it afterwards. I add it with all the other ingredients. Let that go for like 2 or 3 minutes until it's all incorporated. It's a winner, 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 chicken dinner. All right, another one that you'll see that I have the side dish as cauliflower mash is chicken tenders. And I don't know about you, but I love Cane's, Cane's chicken. And my husband and I crave Cane's. Like, we love it. And I think more than anything, we love the sauce that comes with it. And so sometimes I will make these chicken tenders, and I need to go buy that sauce just on its own, because I think that's what make that meal, like, we would not miss Cane's if we just had that sauce. So what do I bread it with? What do I bread these chicken tenders with? I use about a cup of ground pork rinds. I haven't seen any store carry ground up pork rinds, but I just buy a big bag of pork rinds and put them in my food processor until I have about a cup's worth of ground pork rinds. So I get that and about half a cup of almond flour, mix that together, and that's my flour, okay? And so hopefully you know the rest of the steps of making chicken tenders, but if not, you put that in a container, maybe a little salt. I mean, no more salt because there's enough salt in the pork rinds. Pepper, garlic, mix that up, in the pork rinds and the almond flour. Have a separate dish with like eggs and a little bit of half and half, maybe 2 eggs and about 3 tablespoons of half and half. Little pepper, mix that up. You can even put some Louisiana hot sauce in there, mix that up, and then you just kind of dredge the chicken tenders in the flour, eggs, flour again. Sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 coats depending on how thick I want the breading on the chicken. Then fry that up in coconut oil, and it's amazing. It's really, really good. And so what you see in this picture is I have a little bit of barbecue sauce. I did not find a picture of that barbecue sauce. I'm sorry. I'll try to find it for you. If it comes on now, then I found the picture. Okay. Next are tacos. And I know I had tacos for breakfast, but you can also use that same tortilla. If you don't eat it for breakfast, then you can make something for lunch. Sometimes we often make quesadillas with these tortillas, but I will use 1 tortilla. Okay, I don't do 2. I use 1 tortilla. And so if I want something a little heartier in my quesadilla, I will cut up some chicken and cook that up, and then add it with this tortilla with some cheese and a little bit of butter. And that's again, that's a fan favorite here at home with my hubby. Another taco option would be that cheese taco or cheese shell that I told you about in breakfast. You just make that shell and then cook up some either ground beef or ground turkey or ground chicken, and season it just like you would to have tacos. I season it with again, you're gonna hear me say the same seasoning because this is all I use, except for one more. Whenever I'm making like a Mexican style food or whatever, I will use salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and a little bit of cumin. Comino is cumin. So you use that and you mix it up, and once the meat is already cooked, then that's when I add all my seasonings. Don't judge me, this is how I do it, okay? That's how my mama taught me, it's how my sister does it, this is how I do it. So yeah, cook up your meat, then I add all the seasonings, then I cook it again a little bit until all the seasonings are incorporated and you got some taco meat. So sometimes I'll eat it as a taco in that taco shell, or sometimes I will get that same cheese tortilla and just break it into pieces, and I'll make taco salad with that meat. So I'll layer it with the meat, cheese, avocado, and sour cream and salsa, and get that cheese tacos shells, cheese taco shells, cut them up in pieces, and just eat it like that as chips. You can also get those tortillas that I showed you before, the ones that I bought at Sam's, these, and you can cut them into triangles and put them in the oven and let them get crispy, and eat that as a chip also to eat as taco salad. You can also put lettuce on top because that gives a nice freshness to it all. Another quick one is get some chicken salad and use a lettuce wrap instead of any other kind of wrap. That really brings down your carbs. If you already had a carb heavy breakfast and lunch, and you're like, oh, I only have a few more carbs for my dinner time. Well, lettuce, it has 0 carbs in it, so you can use that for a wrap instead. And these were delicious. I use butter lettuce, I believe, for this particular recipe. Another quick recipe would be sausage with veggies. So what I do is I cut up my sausage. I always choose jalapeno sausage. I cut that up, take that out of the pan, add a little pat of butter, maybe about a tablespoon. I add my frozen broccoli and my frozen cauliflower, rice cauliflower, and I steam that in that butter. Once it's already steamed, I add salt, pepper, garlic, and then I add the sausage back into the pan, mix it all up, and boom, you have dinner. It's really fast and always satisfying, and we love it. So now I want to show you a recipe. I want to show you a few pictures of a recipe that I made tonight. It was kind of a fast recipe for me. I had a long day, I was tired, so as soon as I got home I whipped this up, and it took maybe 15 minutes for me to get it all prepared and in the oven. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut up some chicken and cook it up in a pan, of course, with some butter. Season the chicken with salt, pepper, garlic, of course, right? Because these are my go-tos. And onion powder. And cook it up until it's nice and brown. And I put it in a casserole dish. Then I cook up some broccoli, again with a little pat of butter, maybe again another tablespoon of butter. I cook that up and season it, and I add it to my casserole dish with the chicken. Now I have this empty pan, and in the same pan I'm going to add another pat of butter, and so it is going to have 3 tablespoons of butter altogether. So I add a little bit of butter and let it get all melty, and then I add 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1 cup of half and half, and half a cup of heavy cream. I season it, mix it up, and then once the cream cheese is melted, I add 2 tablespoons of pesto. This pesto really makes a difference with this recipe. It's amazing. Now, if you don't like pesto, by all means, don't add the pesto. It's going to be delicious even without it. So I'm going to add my sauce to my chicken and my veggies. If you don't like broccoli, use cauliflower. If you don't like cauliflower, use squash or zucchini. Mix all of that up and with the sauce, and you're going to top it with some cheese. And since everything's already cooked and it's already hot, I just put it in my oven. I broil it at high for about 5 minutes, and this is what I got. And it was fast, and it was super satisfying and really delicious. Alright guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope I've given you some ideas, some inspiration on what you can eat. Don't make this so hard. Let it be easy. Take it easy. Choose easy recipes. Just go by some of the things that I've told you. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. Just comment down below, send me a message, say help, I need help with this, I don't know what to do with this or with that. I'm more than willing to help and answer any questions for you. And so there you go. I hope I've inspired you. I hope that you're hungry now, because I hope my pictures were good enough for you to be hungry. Subscribe to this channel and make sure that you like this video. If you want to continue seeing more content from me, then make sure that you click that bell so that you can get notifications for my other content that I bring out. And I will see you next time. Bye.